Hey guys, what's up? It's Look What If here, back at it again with another video. So today we're going to be doing What If Deku Had the Quirk Last Man Part 3. So without ado, let's just hop into it. Let's get this done as fast as possible because, it's going to be another 3 months before I come out with the next video, let's be honest. So we left off with Izuku coming back from the hospital after sustaining a lot of mental damage from the first battle that he actually battled in, from the USJ incident. So, obviously, he came home. His mother was like, "Oh, are you okay? Are you okay?" And then he was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." He just needed some rest. And after resting for the next 2 days, missing out on the next day of school, he came in and then he came in for the next day of UA, and everyone would explain how worried they are and everything because they really hope that Deku wasn't in a severe condition after how much he was screaming. Because damn, using 100% must have hurt because the backdraw of using his 100% after dying, that's the only time that he can use 100% of his ability, is that well, it just hurts a lot. Like, all of the pain that he's ever felt ever in his entire life is just added into one, then multiplied by 10 for 5 whole minutes. That would be so painful. Like, I don't even know how painful that would be. I don't even want to think about it. That's so bad. Anyways, so everyone would tell them how worried they were, especially Uraka, because, Uraka's got the hots for Izuku. And then Mr. Aizawa will walk into the room, causing everyone to go back to their seats and not to provoke him. Aizawa would say, "Hey, are you okay, Izuku?" Obviously in a more monotone voice and probably not as nice as that. And then Izuku would say, "Yes, I'm fine. It's really not that big of a deal." So with that aside, he would announce the UA Sports Festival. UA Sports Festival. I'm sorry I'm talking so fast. Making everyone in the room get excited for the upcoming event. In between, in between the time skip to the US Sports Festival, Deku would train his body, athletic reflexes, his speed, and then how good he was at martial arts, because he knew that there's a big chance that there was going to be one-on-one battles, because there's always been one-on-one battles in the US Sports Festival in previous years. I don't know that for sure. I'm hoping that that's right, even though I haven't really read the manga. I'm up to probably like the war arc, but maybe past that. Actually, no, I'm not up to war arc. That's the newest arc. Chapter 250, around there. So that's where I'm up to. So no spoilers. Obviously, we're only going to do up to the anime because I know that not a lot of people actually read the manga and just wait for the anime to come out. Even though season 5 is coming out, which is yes, thank you, amazing. So Izuku would. I have to go on a rant about this on a different video. I'm probably going to do that after. Anyways, Izuku would training his body and all that. Made himself a lot more muscular. He's so much more faster. His average reaction time went from 150 milliseconds, which is the least amount of reaction time for the average human, to just 50 milliseconds, which is amazing. That's so good. And then he's kind of scared to use his quirk, but he knows that he can't really be scared of using his quirk because it's something that he has to use. So yeah, he comes back. Then the UA Sports Festival starts. Everyone being so excited, they all huddle up, and Izuku goes to talk to Uraka. Izuku's like, "Hey, are you feeling okay?" Uraka's going, "Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just a little nervous is all." And then Deku, not being as shy as he was before, would comfort Uraka and be like, "Everything's gonna be fine. You're gonna do amazing." And then Midnight starts up the UA Sports Festival. So she asks for Izuku being the highest ranked. He got the most points in the entrance exam, meaning that he is giving the speech. So he walks onto the podium to give his speech, saying, I know that I'm definitely not the smartest or the fastest student here, but I am one of the strongest. My quirk is not the most versatile outside of combat, but but I am aiming for the top spot, so I hope that we can all give it our best. Silence would just go across the crowd because this isn't something that they usually hear. They usually hear, "I just hope that everyone does well." Blah 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 blah. But then everyone starts clapping, whistling, shouting, saying, "Damn, that's so inspirational," even though it really wasn't. Everyone's just overplaying it. And then Izuku would bow and walk back to his peers. Midnight would tell them all to go back to their locker rooms, which they all did. So Todoroki would say, "I will win," and then when they all, "I will win," and then Izuku just looked at him and went, "Okay then," and walked out of the room because it's time for the first event. After the Midnight announced it, the first event would start, and they would all head to the starting line. Everyone was getting ready for the race with Deku's new reaction time. With his new reaction time, he would see Todoroki getting ready to freeze the floor and take off. So what he does is he jumps, he starts rolling on the wall, he kicks off people's heads. Kicks off people's heads? Jeez, no, not like that. He just hops from head to head until he's next to Todoroki, and he's like running. He's sort of in front of Todoroki, but it's kind of like a clash. And then all they can hear is Bakugo just going, "I'm gonna get you, Deku! And don't forget blah 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 words." Yeah, and then he goes, "I'm I'm coming for you next, Icy Heart," or whatever Bakugo's gonna say. He's not the main character. I don't really care, even though Bakugo's a pretty good character. Yeah, Todoroki and Izuku are clashing. Bakugo's next to them. It's like a three-way tie. It's like, bro, what's going on? And then they come up to the first obstacle, which is the Zero Point robots. So obviously Bakugo would just fly over them. Well, no, Bakugo's kind of a hothead. Bakugo would just like blow through them, showing off his power. Deku not having his quirk activated yet, would just run around them. So he's a little bit slower. So he's in second place with Todoroki and Bakugo tying for first. I'm sorry. Um, so he would Izuku would be behind Todoroki and Bakugo. Todoroki and Bakugo, after running for a bit, would get to the hole, the pit. You know, the one with the things. You know the one I'm talking about. The second obstacle. And Todoroki would just make an ice path over it. Izuku would be trying to follow on the ice path, but eventually would break, making him fall. So as he's falling, he's going, "Damn, I'm dead, no." But then he would hit a net, because obviously it's a school, and even though it's training superheroes or heroes, they need to have safety. So obviously there will be nets at the bottom. So Izuku would land on the net, and then since the next one supported it as well, Yue kind of did a half-assed job on that. He broke his spine, so any other person would have died, and luckily no one else fell down the pits. So he breaks his spine, activates 35% of his power. Why am I yawning so much? Even though he isn't dead. He isn't dead because that wouldn't kill him instantly. So, Deku, Izuku Midoriya, would be at 35% of his full power. He would be able to jump right out of the pit and onto the other side and then just sprint past Todoroki and Bakugo, going at speed seemingly faster than All Might. Obviously not, but current All Might, yes. But Prime All Might, no. Well, current All Might in this point of the story. So, Yep, Izuku just runs over the mines, everyone going, whoa, he's fast! And then Baku going, damn it, Deku, why? I don't know what Bakugo would say, I'm not a good Bakugo impressionist. So, yeah, Todoroki would get third place, Bakugo getting second place, and Izuku getting first place. Based off pure speed. So, Bakugo would obviously be pissed at Deku. Like, damn it, how come you had to take my first place spot? I told you should never have come here, blah 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 blah, even though he sees Deku as a rival. Izuku as a rival. And, everyone else shows up, and then Midnight spins for the, third event. Second event, not the third event, that's the one-on-ones. The second event, which is the human cavalry battle. Cavalry. I can't say words, I'm really sorry. So everyone would be getting ready for the second battle. Todoroki would have no reason to do the interruption between, between the two events. I'm sorry, I have a cold, but I need to record this now, or else I'm not gonna get another video out for the next couple months. So, Izuku crossing the thing, he would still have 31 minutes left of his quirk. Each percentage equals 1 minute of his body fixing, so he would still have 31 minutes of his quirk left. Meaning, when the second event begins, he would roughly have 20... No. Well, how long would it start? It would take probably 5 minutes in between to start up the thing, so... he'd be at 30 minutes, which is just enough to finish the second event. So, Midnight would announce that Izuku has the 10 million points. Everyone would be like, bruh, I'm gonna actually steal those points off you. That's the best way to win this. So then, when he actually gets his team of Tokoyami, Uraka, and, what's her name? Mei Hatsume? Yeah, Mei Hatsume. She doesn't really show up a lot in the later seasons of My Hero Academia, so I can't really remember her. Mei Hatsume, Tokoyami, and Uraka. So, yep, and then let the second event begin. So everyone will be coming for Deku. Deku being at 30% of his power is just dodging, weaving around everyone trying to grab him. Everyone trying to grab him, everyone trying to grab his headbands. And then, Tokami would just knock people out, and then they would start flying away. He would get his things gunked. Pretty much it would go roughly the same, just with Deku being a beast the whole time. So, Bakugo would be like, nah, none of this here, and would get off of his team, start flying at, Bakugo. Imagine Bakugo flying at Bakugo. Nah, it's Bakugo flying at Izuku, and, exploding in his face, even though Izuku blocks it to the side, dodges it, and then Bakugo's just trying to go, I'm gonna get you. And then it's been like 30 seconds of just Bakugo just throwing explosions around, and he's running out of room to stay off the floor, or else he would obviously have to run back to his team. So when Sero, his team, Bakugo's team, would go, dude, come back, we're not gonna get it, we'll just go for other points. So, Bakugo, being the hothead, wouldn't listen, and would, this would just make him try harder, pushing his limits. So, Bakugo would go, ba 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 ba, and, like, keep going upwards, making him stay in the air for longer, which is surprisingly hard when you would think about it, because he has to be sweating a lot to be able to do this. He has no nerves because of how hot of a head he is. It's just really cool, obviously. And after that, his team would just get annoyed, and Sero, Sorta, whatever his name is, Tape Guy, would rip out tape, grab Bakugo, and rip him back to the team. Bakugo being pissed, being like, "Why'd you stop me? I nearly had him." And then Deku being like, and then his team being like, "No, you didn't." And then Deku's team, Izuku's team, would just have some time to relax until Shoto's team would come at him, trying to grab his headband. Of course, he would trying really hard, almost making Todoroki use his fire side. Of course, Todoroki doesn't want to use his fire side because he's Todoroki. He has background plot. Oh, my dad, he sucks, so I'm not gonna use his quirk, even though it's my quirk and has nothing to do with him because of genetics. Because that's Todoroki, and Todoroki would try and get the headband. Obviously, of course, he would fail miserably, and almost use his fire side. Obviously, eventually giving up, and then the fight was over. It was like, wait, that was really fast. How come you were speedrunning the second event? Look What If person, the main channel name, because I don't want to tell you guys my name yet. I don't feel like that. I just didn't really feel like the second event was anything significant of the plot, to be honest. So, anyways, let's start the third event. So, they would say, congratulations to Team Midoriya for getting first place without losing the 10 million point headband. Second place goes to Team Katsuki, that's his last name, right? For keeping his points, and Team Shoto Todoroki for grabbing more points. Still not enough to equal Team Katsuki's points. Still not enough to equal that, so he would still get third. And everyone congratulate Deku, even though they had tons of blood loss at the start of the event. And everyone would get ready for the one-on-one fights. They would announce that, yep, this is what happens all the time. We're going to have one-on-one fights at the end. So can everyone please head back to the locker rooms? And everyone would try to relax before the one-on-one fights, obviously, because that's what happened. Of course, the girls of the class wouldn't do the cheerleading fiasco, because I feel like they're smarter than that. I mean, if this pervert, this grape head dude just came up to you and you're female and was like, yeah, teacher told us to, tell you to put on these cheerleading costumes and, go out there and dance. Would you do it, or would you bring it up with the teacher first? So obviously they'll go, thank you, and then they would talk about it with Mr. Ozawa, who would say, no, you don't need to do that, I don't know what he's thinking, I don't know why he's asking you to do that. So when they would come back, they would just beat him up. They wouldn't beat him up, obviously, they would just kick him around. And since he's kind of the comedy dude, no one really cares. Also, he's a pervert, and I don't think he should have been in the class. Wait, did I even put him in the class? No, screw it. He's in the class. So obviously, this is just how it is. The one-on-one fights begin, and it is Izuku Midoriya versus Shinzo. I forgot to do the introduction for Tetsu and Shinzo at the start of the thing. Oh no, that happens pretty much the same, except Deku just walks off not giving a shit. So yeah, I'm sorry about that. I don't feel like going back and change it. The video is already at like nearly 20 minutes, so I'm not gonna go back and change it. I've already had to restart 3 times because of my microphone. But I'll fix it later, maybe, probably not. So then the one-on-one fights begin. Shinzo versus Izuku Midoriya. I don't have the thing up, so and then my entire script disappeared. Or the bottom of my script disappeared. So Shinzo versus Izuku. Izuku wouldn't have his quirk activated anymore because of the pastime of his percentage limit. Not his limit, but like the 20 minutes the 30 minutes at the start of the second event was over because the event is 30 minutes long, obviously. Why is this happening to me? Anyways, the fight would start. So there would be Midoriya and Shinzo would step onto the stage. Shinzo would try to activate his brainwashing quirk on Izuku, but Izuku, being a lot more smarter than that, already knows, and when everyone hears what quirk Shinzo has, they're like, ew, brainwashing quirk? Villain much? Psh, villain? No one likes villains. And then that one kid's like, I think it's pretty cool. And then everyone just looks at him and goes, shut up. That doesn't happen, but I like to think it does. So then, the fight continues. Deku would just sprint at him, punch him in the face, punch him, push him to the edge, basically. And Shinzo's just like, how am I meant to beat this dude? He's not even using his quirk. Is he, like, pitying me? So Shinzo really doesn't know how to fight back and kind of relies on his quirk a lot. In the second season, obviously, he doesn't use it as much. Ugh. 12:11 a.m. Vibes be like, and now my ears feels weird. Anyways, yeah. So Shinzo doesn't really throw any punches back because he can't do anything because Izuku's a kickboxer now, and he just kicks him out. He's just like, nah, none of that in here, bruv. So obviously he walks away, and people are like, damn, I actually think that works pretty cool. Yeah. And then, of course, Shinzo doesn't get as much praise as in canon, but he still feels kind of good about himself. And Izuku just walks off saying that was pretty easy, I'm not gonna lie. And then, all the fights go as canon, except for Uraraka versus Mako. I'm not gonna have Uraraka win, but I'm gonna have a boost up. Because she would have trained a lot harder seeing how hard Izuku fought in the USJ. So obviously, the battles would be going on. Uraraka just would have done a lot better. So she would have got a ton more recognition than in canon, which was still a lot. And the next round, Todoroki versus Izuku. Izuku would run in and try to get to the middle so that if he does get hit, it's not like he's going to get sent flying out. And so that he can activate his quirk. So he'd run to the setter, try to get close to Todoroki, and the Todoroki would be like, nah bro, none of that in here, and just set an iceberg at him. And then Izuku he wouldn't be able to block it, but like, he would jump backwards, so then he gets caught in like the wave of the ice. And it would stab him a couple times, so his quirk would activate, obviously, bringing him to about 15%. Yeah, 15%. So then when he gets down, he jumps. He just like jumps, he grabs a bit of the iceberg and does a triple front flip over it. Lands in front of Todoroki, punches him in the stomach, and Todoroki retaliates with another ice streak from the side, cutting Izuku on the side more. But this only increases his percentage, making him have 20%. 20% of his quirk activated, meaning he's just stronger and he can punch harder, and Todoroki just can't find a way to win. So what he does is he breaks his pledge. He uses his fire out of pure necessity. And he uses his quirk and burns all of Izuku's arm and leg on the left side. This isn't going to leave too many. This only really leaves one scar, which is up his arm. Up his left arm. But the burning effect of his scar is enough to make his quirk go up to 35%. Where he's able, which is the same as when he was sprinting at below All Might level. Just below All Might level. And just not sucker punches him, just like straight up punches him in the nose. It wouldn't break, no, it would break his nose, what am I kidding? It would hit him and it would knock Todoroki out. Todoroki from this fight would have learned that what's when holding back against people who are stronger than me. Meaning he wouldn't need his pledge anymore. He'd still refrain from using the Firestarter's quirk, but not as much as in canon. So with Todoroki out, all of the other fights go as planned. Whoever Izuku fights in place of Todoroki in the third round, Izuku wins. I can't remember who it was. I'm sorry. I don't care. And then it's Izuku versus Bakugo. So Izuku being at 2% because there was still 2% of his power left from the Todoroki battle, and then from the next battle he got another additional 5%, even though he won that pretty smoothly. The battle starts. So, let's just get comfortable. Izuku would sprint at Bakugo, and then when he gets close to him, Bakugo realizes this is my time, and he launches an explosion. Izuku not feeling like he needs to use his quirk for this fight because he knows that Bakugo is just a pushover, really. Even though he is really strong, and Deku still doesn't really think he's a pushover, but like he knows that Bakugo isn't as strong if he doesn't have his explosions. So what he does is he pushes his arm out using a bunch of karate techniques or whatever, and punches him in the face a couple times, combos him a little, and then Bakugo says that's enough, blows him backwards with his explosions, making Deku's quirk reach 10%. And then Izuku runs in. He's gonna go again. He's gonna fight, and then this sort of continues that way a little until Deku's at 20%. And this is when Bakugo's like, I'm gonna finish this here. I'm gonna use my Hausa Impact. Hausa Impact. Is that how it's spelled? Hausa Impact. Oh. And he does that, and he blows Deku away with his quirk. Deku being Deku, no, it's Izuku. Why am I saying Deku? Izuku being not a pushover and being at 20% of his power, reaches 40% of his power and goes up to hits the edge of the arena and just manages to stay on. 40% is enough to just basically look like he teleported. It's so fast that it just goes, and then he just chops. He knocks out chops Bakugo on the side because Bakugo was standing up and getting ready to fight if he wasn't out. But since he was getting ready, he wasn't expecting a chop from the back. And then that's how Bakugo lost the fight. 40% Deku didn't even have to go berserk on him. So, and that is how the battle was lost for Bakugo. And everyone goes back to classroom, everyone congratulates Deku. Classroom, no, everyone goes back to the thing, and then Deku is put up on the stage and gets first place, receiving the medal from All Might. But then after that, so Bakugo gets second place, Todoroki doesn't place. No, Todoroki gets fourth place, and whoever was versing Deku gets third, and Deku gets first overall. So, after that, he notices that Iida's a little off. And that's when we'll get into the Hero Killer arc. So, I'll see you guys. So, this is the end of this, obviously. Just under 30 minutes. I didn't really feel like making this one too long, because I know that I've said this before, but I'm definitely going to try and get more videos out. Even though I know that I'm really not, and I'm just going to try harder. But, you know, I could have done better. It's kind of sad that the entire bottom of my script just deleted itself. I really didn't like that. That's probably why it was so low budget in the end, and why I was going all the time, because I was trying to figure out what I was gonna say, and I had to make it up off the spot, and I'm not very good at that, even though I consider myself to be fairly good at it. So the hero killer arc is next up in the thing. I've decided that I'm just gonna do one-on-ones. Well, no, not one-on-ones. I'm gonna do like one arc, the next arc, the next arc. So some arcs are gonna be smaller than other arcs, obviously, and I'm not gonna do 3 arcs at once. I'm not gonna do 2 arcs at once. I'm gonna do the joint training arc, so the end of season 5. Obviously, I feel like that's a big brain move, because by the time that I'm done with this series, season 5 should be out, mostly completely, and I would have watched it by then. So instead of making part 4 in the next time I do this, which could be months, could be weeks, could be days, I'm definitely going to start working on the script tomorrow though. So I started writing the script on the 28th, and I finished writing the script on the 29th. So, sorry, I finished the script on the 28th and started writing on the 25th. So it takes me roughly 3 days to write an arc script, with breaks, obviously, because I'm not that good with my work. I've got school, I've got assessments, I've got assignments, I've got all that. I still like working on these though. It's just fun to have ramble off for a bit. And my ears are hurting because these headphones are uncomfortable. Because I'm not wearing my comfortable ones, I'm wearing the ones with the microphone that actually works. Anyways, if you like my weird voices where I go like, yeah, or like, which is kind of dumb, I know I sound like a 12-year-old. I don't care. I don't even know what I was going to say. Don't even know what point I was trying to make. But, so we're doing the Hero Killer one for part 4. Then for part 5 we're going to do the final exams arc, which is where they get the provisional final exams arc, then they do the hideout raid arc. Wait a minute, where's the... No, so it's the final exams arc, then it's the forest training camp arc for part 6. Part 5. Part 4, part 5, part 6. And then the hideout raid arc, part 7. Wait, what's the hideout raid arc? I wrote these down before. So, part 7 is the hideout raid arc. Part 8 is the provisional license arc. The overhaul arc. And then the joint training arc. So like the UA school festival arc, and then it's the joint training arc. So the UA school festival arc and the overhaul arc are going to be one, because the school festival isn't something that I consider big to the plot. Just like I don't really consider the Hero Killer arc pretty big to the plot, or the final exam arc. But I do really like the forest training camp arc. I really like that one. I do keep up with the manga, but I'm not going to go into manga because people don't read the manga sometimes. But I'm gonna do a different video. So instead of doing part 4 of this next time, I'm gonna do a part 1 of a different one. I'm either gonna do what if Deku had a quirk that's already in the show, or what if Deku, which is something that I want to do, what if Deku had a quirk destruction quirk? So like, what if he had the ability to permanently remove quirks? So for the start of it, I'm gonna make it so that Bakugo is still gonna be in the series, and he isn't gonna be quirkless. So I'm not gonna have Izuku use his quirk on him. But then I was thinking, that's kind of underpowered. How am I gonna make him into a good hero? But then that's something that I would like Izuku to struggle with on like the story. But then I was thinking, what if I gave him a half quirk, half and half quirk, half and half quirk. Like, what if I gave him half lightning ability, which is something that I've also been thinking would be really cool. Like, he has the ability to redirect lightning with his fingertips, and he has the ability to store lightning in him, which can make him even into a speedster. Like, I could do a speedster one, even though I know that Prince of What Ifs is doing that currently. He's done part 3. I like all those channels, they're really good. No Crown Fiend, all that jazz. You know, it's just a really nice culture, the What If channels. Even though I'm not that big, obviously, 30 subscribers still isn't nothing to brag about. But I consider it a pretty nice goal for me. I swear I'm not dragging out the video to 40 minutes. But I'm just talking because I feel like it. And I'll probably start like a rant video instead. But yeah. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to either do the lightning quirk and then the quirk destruction quirk as the half and half, or I'm going to do the quirk destruction quirk or just the lightning quirk. So you guys gotta talk to me about that. Obviously, I'm probably going to have it up in maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 week, however long it takes me, and if I don't have assignments, if I don't have all that, because I am in the middle of school, obviously. You'd be surprised how much homework I get. But anyways, I guess that's it. I'll see you all next time for the next video, which could be 2 months, 3 years, 2 weeks, 1 day. See you next time.